You cannot.
Genius. That is just one of the many words to describe Mr. Ray Bradbury's books and writing style. Having written over 500 books and short stories, Fahrenheit 451 is debatedly the best story that Bradbury has ever written. It was a pleasure to burn. It was a special pleasure to see things blackened and changed. This is just one of the many exceptional quotes that Ray Bradbury has imagined. Along with his amazing metaphors and descriptions, the relationships that he makes between his characters are extremely thoughtful, with the story behind each one. All of the characters that we are introducing today played a key role in Montag's transformation by the end of the book.
So, today we will discuss Mildred, Faber, Clarice, and Beatty's relationship to Guy Montag, and how these characters motivated and inspired Montag through Fahrenheit 451, and how it turned him into a dynamic character.
Oh.
Can you push play?
Oh,
Okay.
Seriously, don't do that.
don't do it. Ray Bradbury did a phenomenal job of explaining how other characters motivated Guy Montag to a dynamic character, such as his wife Mildred, hollow and sullen, fading to a brown crimson rose, once red as blood, dreams once perspired, broken. This is who I think Mildred is in Fahrenheit 451. Mildred was once a bright and fun-loving person, but as the days passed, she slowly began to fade away, leaving Montag nothing but memories to hold on to. Mildred influenced Montag by making him feel oblivious to his surroundings. She made him feel that life was empty, just a game with imaginary twists and turns, nothing to live for in reality. This made Montag yearn to break free, to have something in life which led you to another world, such as a book. Unlike having an electronic family who did not love you but had the sole purpose of entertaining you. When Montag saw Mildred lying on the bed petrified, he felt alone. Montag thought, stretched on the bed, uncovered and cold, like a body displayed on the lid of a tomb. Her eyes fixed to the ceiling by invisible threads of steel, unmovable, and in her ears the little seashells, the thimble radio stamped tight. Montag thought Mildred was living her life because she had to, each day, so each day would pass. Montag was aggravated when Mildred did not remember anything, or he could not have a conversation with his own wife. Last night, he said again. What about last night? Don't you remember? What, did we have a loud party or something? Yes, he said, or I wanted to talk to you. You took all the pills in your bottle last night. Oh, I wouldn't do that, Mildred said, surprised. Montag also realized that his wife did not love him. She loved the television way more than him. She did not care where they first met. It was the first time he felt the essence that there was not anybody who truly cared for him in this world, and he would not cry if Mildred died. Montag thought to himself, how did you become so empty? Who takes it out of you? And that awful flower the other day, the dandelion, it had summed up everything, hadn't it? What a shame, you're not in love with anyone, and why not? I believe Montag feared to become like Mildred and her friends, Mrs. Bowles and Mrs. Phelps, who were trying to escape the world. This thought compelled Montag to want to find purpose in his life. Mildred's actions, such as considering the television her family, motivated Montag to take the first step. Mildred's actions from work and analyzing them. Furthermore, Mildred greatly inspired Montag when she complained to the fire department that Montag was taking books. Montag yelled, Mildred! She ran past with her body stiff, her face floured with powder, her mouth gone, without lipstick. Mildred, you didn't put in the alarm. She shoved the lace in the waiting beetle, climbed in and sat mumbling. Poor family, family, oh, everything gone, everything gone now. This moment made Montag realize he was right. Mildred did not love him, but the money that had bought her family. At this moment, Montag also realized that he was right for wanting to save the books, and he wasn't going to give up now. Ray Bradbury is such an exceptional writer. He did an extravagant job of explaining how Mildred changed Guy Montag forever.
Ray Bradbury began Fahrenheit 451 with Montag having a good or at least friendly relationship with everybody else. One of his friends was the fire captain, Captain Beatty. The way I saw it, Montag thought of Captain Beatty as an authority, friend, figure, sort of mixture of those two. And he showed this by listening to him and following his orders, but also just sort of, talking with him and talking to him as a friend. When his mental eyes began to open and see that books are not bad, horrible things that need to be destroyed, they are good, he started to see Captain Beatty differently, and they started to drift apart a little bit. Instead of not questioning the burning of books, he began to think that something may not be right around the idea of this. He started to think that he needed to get away from all of it. Due to this, Captain Beatty and Montag began to drift apart because Captain Beatty was very much with the idea of burning books and just following the law of that. When Mildred betrayed him and turned him into the firemen for having books, Montag just couldn't keep his emotions inside anymore. Like a soda bottle that had been shaken, he exploded and just killed Beatty with the gasoline hose used for setting things on fire. I think that he just couldn't stop himself from going a little bit crazy after all these years of thinking books the wrong way. Montag says that Beatty wanted to die after he killed him, maybe as a way to feel less guilty. However, this may have been at least partway correct, because he seemed very weary of life and all the rules, and he actually told Montag to pull the trigger and shoot the hose at him as a sort of daring little taunt. He also purposefully insulted Montag, as well as taking the green bullet from his ear while he had the hose in his hand. All in all, I think that Beatty made Montag question rules and the society as being brought up in. There's a next slide. Next slide.
Montag plus Faber, fire plus water. And then, one day, after everything had mixed and simmered and worked its way in silence, there would be neither fire nor water, but wine. Although we know little of him, Professor Faber played a huge influence in Montag's life and change of personality by the end of the story. Faber teaches Montag that books could hold the knowledge that can complete Montag's life. This made him realize that his life was lacking the things that he never knew that he wanted. Montag learned from him that books could hold the key to his happiness. Professor Faber inspired Montag to do things that he never thought that he would do. However, what do we really know of Professor Faber? We know that he is an ex-professor and old enough to watch the decline of intellectual life in his country. Because of this, he has shown that he is intelligent enough to practically devise a plan with Montag to override the fireman institution. However, because of this, it limits him. He is reluctant and even declares himself a coward. Then the question remains, is he a coward, or does he just use what means are available to him? If the drone dies, I'm safe at home, tending my fright with maximum comfort, minimum of chance. See how safe I play it, how contemptible I am, Faber says. But he willingly reads books and discusses philosophies against the law. So how cowardly is he, really? After all of this, Faber is still reduced to a mere voice in Montag's ear, becoming the coward that he thinks he is. Overall, Faber changed Montag's life and was a fundamental supporter in the metamorphosis of Montag's personality.
Let's go, sweetie. Let's go.
Are you happy? She said. Am I what? He cried. But she was gone, running in the moonlight. Her front door shut gently. Happy? Of all the nonsense! He stopped laughing. He put his hand into the glove hole of the front door. The front door slid open. Of course I'm happy. What does she think? I'm not? Or was Montag truly happy? Even for the little time she was physically present in Guy Montag's life. She helped change his perspective on the way he looked at life. When first meeting Clarice, while walking home from a good day's work, she immediately changed his life by talking to him for only 3 minutes. She started to appeal to him as a bubbly random person as she babbled on and on about the little things in life that she noticed. She helped Montag stop and smell the roses instead of telling him of things such that people had to make billboards longer. Since people drove at such high speeds, they could only interpret them as blobs, and it was deemed necessary to create a longer billboard. Clarice thought drivers had an obstructed view of nature, as she even said herself. If you showed a driver a green blur, oh yes, he'd say, that's grass. A pink blur, that's a rose garden. White blurs are houses and brown blurs are cows. This is just one of the many subjects that Clarice brought up showing how the world missed out on the little things in life. Now, it was shocking to Montag that Clarice was so pure and happy due to the fact that his life was a lifeless old drag. So rude, she didn't even pull out her earbuds when he was talking to her. She taught him to notice the little things in life instead of passing by them like they were nothing. After Clarice met Montag, the next day, she did little things that caused Montag to realize his surroundings more. He also saw her embracing her surroundings as well. She walked him to work nearly every day, talking to him about the most random things like, the rain tastes good, or if the dandelion rubs off on your chin, you're in love. Over the week, Montag spotted Clarice sitting on the lawn a couple times, knitting a loose sweater, shaking a chestnut tree, and whatnot. He also discovered a bouquet of flowers on his porch, and a handful of chestnuts in a little sack, and even some autumn leaves carefully pinned together on a white sheet of paper, and thumbtacked to his door. After Mildred informed Montag of Clarice's unfortunate battle with a car, he began to think about his life more. Clarice made him happier, caused him to read and discover new adventures. She helped him notice the little things in life and let him know that his life had importance. This goes to prove that Clarice, though only in his life physically for a short period of time, had a big impact on the way he viewed life. This is one relationship the fabulous writer Ray Bradbury uses to begin Montag's view of life in a more happy way. Bradbury wanted to cause him to look at the world and notice that the little things mattered. Only Ray Bradbury could have produced a work of such fine quality as this because of his tremendous writing skills. I hope this serves as a tribute to his wonderful works of art, and his legacy will live on as the amazing writer he once was.
The quote that I chose, it was very good because it had a lot to do with the relationships that he portrayed in the book, and it just really clicked with the subject.
Thank you for sharing with us our everlasting love for Ray Bradbury's writing masterpieces for the few minutes we've been up here.
He was truly a great writer. We hope this is paid as tribute because he certainly deserves it. And we hope you learned a bit about the characters in Fahrenheit 451, how they changed Montag's life.
Wow, no, hearing this at night. Oh, and t-shirts.
T-shirt.
Yeah, you can buy those. I'll get you